Something very important to know is what is a prime number. So I'll just quickly go over this. So a prime number, I'm just going to write some numbers out. Well, not any numbers, these are prime numbers. Okay, etc. So a prime number is a number that only goes into 1 and itself. Okay, so what I mean by that is the only way, for example, to get 7 is 7 multiplied by 1. There is no other multiplication we can do that gets 7. If we look at 13, the only way we can get 13 is 13 times 1. The only way we can get 3 is 3 times 1. The only way we can get 2 is 2 times 1. So the only numbers that divide 2 are 2 and 1. The only numbers that divide 7 are itself, 7 and 1. I think we can get that pattern there. If we're trying to find prime numbers, because there's literally loads of them, or check that a number is prime, let's say we're thinking, oh, can I simplify this number? Does it go into anything? You'll want to know if it's prime, because if it's prime then you can't, it doesn't go into anything else. So, things to know is prime numbers end in 1, 3, 7 or 9. End in, should have written that first. Except 2 and 5, so anything above 5, so except this one and this one. Because if they'd end in 2 or 5 or beyond 2 and 5, it would be divisible by 2 and it would be divisible by 5, if that makes sense. And then you can check if it divides by 3 or 7, it's not prime. So if it doesn't, if it divides by 3 or 7, it is not prime. So first you need to look at all numbers that end in 1, 3, 7 and 9, above 2 and 5, and then divide them by 3 or 7, and if that works then it's not prime, and if they don't go in exactly then you know that the number is prime. Important thing to note, warning, 1 is not prime, and 2 here is the only even prime number, and that may or may not be obvious to you, but if I take any other even number, so let's take 4 in between 3, 4, 5, then all even numbers divide by 2, and therefore the only factors are not 1 in itself, it can also be divided by 2. Just one more note on prime numbers is one way to remember how to work out what prime is or what a prime number is I think of the word prime. It's kind of like something prime, it's the best, so I kind of think that's like the best, so maybe first, and then that has a 1 in, so then I can think of prime numbers as numbers that can only be divided by itself and 1.